Greetings, beloved Nerika family. Yes, we are live at a very, very special time. And what I love about my life and being my own boss, running my own businesses, is the flexibility of choice, the flexibility of accommodating myself and my guests. Today in Oneness at a very special time. And of course, you can catch the replay on our Facebook page, on our YouTube page, and also on the beautiful Sadhana Om page on Facebook. Such a beautiful, beautiful time to reconnect, Sadhu. I'm very, very happy to have you as my guest today. And Oneness is a divine call to share our magnificent human experience, share with the collective our journeys, share with the collective not only our journeys and our success, also our struggle and where the struggle had led us, and how we have reached a space of alignment and oneness within ourselves, with the creation, with others around us. That's what's all in oneness about, to come and share from the space of the heart. And today, my dear, beautiful sister, sharing her beautiful journey with us from Bali. Yes, and I remember the day we met on the trail to the Valley of Flowers, this very beautiful, cute girl who just gave me a very quick hug and said, loving us. And she was just that big heart. Yes, loving us all along. I love the whole journey with you, with all its spiraling, with all the growth. And I am very humbled with your presence, with the beautiful time we're going to share here in our sacred space at the Nerika page. And yes, sister, when I set together the post for today's episode, the only words that came to me is as a title for this podcast with you is to journey with yoga. And that's where I would love to start with you after you introduce yourself to us. Welcome to our sacred space, Sadhana.
Thank you so much for inviting me to be part of Nerika family, to share whatever I have experienced in my journey. And just, yes, 2 days ago, I was actually making this art board wherein I have like some memories. So there were a lot of memories from Shantiniketan Nasogi, from travels, and I have a picture of you with a butterfly in hand. That's from the first time we met in the trek in the Uttarakhand towards Hemkund, and it's September 2016. So I put it on my memory wall, and I was really going backwards in the memory, and how wonderful and how interesting journey it has been. So yeah, really grateful to your presence in my life, how you held container for me. And we were together in Seher, we were together in Shantiniketan, and then it was beautiful. Like, I have not experienced the kind of love I experienced with you, because it's love without attachment. Like, you love a flower but you don't pick it up to make it your own. You really kept this doors open for me to go and find my way. And 3 years from then, now I have a different life, and it has been an incredible journey. And I'm really grateful to be part of this show which you have started and you're hosting. And I'm seeing how beautiful aspects of you are unraveling and manifesting. And as I've always noticed, I always believed in the power of manifestation and intention and connection, and that's what I see you doing. So we all are doing our parts, and I'm really humble. I'm really grateful to share my journey. Well, my journey, to give a little bit background, I come from a very conservative and narrow-minded Indian family. As like in India, most families are growing up in a very kind of bit of dysfunctional kind of family. But I'm glad that it made me resilient, and it made me who I am. So no complaints, but just a little bit.
It's choice. Exactly. It's your choice at soul level to be born in that dysfunctional family. So you realize what's harmony, what's alignment, what's the growth. And it's such an incredible, actually, for me, I wanted to just add when you were talking about your experience in the past 3 years. That's true. I wasn't physically present, but I was always like, watching over you, and I feel like a proud mama. That's the exact feeling that I have. That's the exact feeling that I have.
Absolutely. I'll come on to that once I'm done explain, like, touching on my journey. I'll come to that point, because that is a very special moment that I hold very close to my heart. So yeah, coming from that environment wherein I've seen deprivation and scarcity, wherein like there were times where not enough food to eat, there were always fear, there was always contraction, even in terms of studying. Like I wanted to, like every next year when I would pass exam, there would be a contraction in me, whether I can study next year, because I wasn't sure whether we'll have enough, my father will have enough to provide books and all the study supplies for to go in the next standard. But then, yeah, with God's grace, with universe grace, it happened. So help came in here and there. So it was nice. It was hard, it was challenging, but at the same time, it makes me really grounded. And also, even though like right now I am right, it's like all rice field over where I'm sitting, and I'm like in a luxurious place that I'm staying, but I remember those days as my root, like as like I've come from that ground, that soul that keeps me very, very attached uh, to the blessing, like uh, every small thing becomes blessings when you know that it's not for granted. Like, everything I mean, I cherish, I really enjoy every small thing given, whether it's a smile or a cup of coconut water or whatever. It's like it's really, I feel like it's coming as a blessing, because I've come from that really like kind of a low wherein I had nothing. So yeah, that's what I began with, and series of events led me into a really position where I didn't love myself. Like I hated myself. I felt I was impure and I was not worthy of love. There were incidents of there were events wherein like I was sexually abused. I was attempt to rape and things like that, which I never told anyone because I was a teenager. So I kept everything inside me, and inside me there was this churning happening all the time, that I was crunching. Like I didn't like myself. I didn't like as a child, as a now I look back and I understand how important it was for me to really bond with myself with the same gender at that time, but I kept myself to myself because I was really scared to show up. I really held back because of those incidents. And yeah, it has been now it has been a really main events for me to really real to do the real work. It's not just yoga. That yoga in the on when I come on the mat, it makes me like come close to myself. When I come close to myself, I sit with these emotions, I sit with these memories, which has really um damaged me in a way, and that damaging that is an opportunity for me to really really see my true self, see my true essence, and like loving myself with each and every act that I do, how I honor my being, how I honor people who are connecting with myself and around me. So that, and then the journey continued, and I had yeah, like I lost my father the same year. My boyfriend got married to someone else. So it was like again these things of not believing in myself, in my own power. And then I worked in a corporate to kind of support my family for a few years. And then one day, like I was like, enough is enough. Now I need to just break through. I need to go. I mean, it had already started. I had I had started reading about meditation, yoga, and started meditating. But that was the day, like I was like, that's enough, and I left. I left to travel. I started doing solo traveling, and that kind of brought me joy, brought me some freedom, some happiness. And those solo travels became like and like a travel without a destination, a travel without any definite time. I just left. I packed my bag and I was like, now I'm leaving. And that's how like life unfolded. And through meditation, yoga came in. With yoga, I had no plans to teach whatsoever, but it's how it flowed. It flows like, so I just accepted what came in. And that's how just things happened. And I found myself teaching. I found myself sharing. And then you came in my life. Then we created beautiful things together. And yeah, I remember I
Still
started
are.
feeling this urge that I needed. I remember
We still
like
are.
I
Look at
started
us
feeling.
now.
I had this urge. I remember I was lying down with you and Ramji, and I had this in me, like, there's something not feeling right. And then I said, like, I want to go out. I want to just just go out. And then I was really, it was I was everything was welcome. Everything, there was a beauty of it. Like, all of me was welcome. I think my journey of self love started right then when I met you and Ramji. Because before that, I had always, I mean, I had this huge baggage of all the things that I didn't like about myself, all the things I was really scared to face, all the things that really kept me heavy and unloving towards myself. Although I was practicing yoga, I was practicing meditation and art of loving kindness. And I think that's how we connected. Because when I said loving us, because this is what I was like, I was really practicing loving everything and including myself into everything. It's not love me or love you. It was like loving us. That's what the words came in when I met you. And
It's basically when we are tuning to the energy of oneness, as there's no separation between you, me, and him, and her, and Bella, and the dogs, or the places. It was just coming from a space of deep recognition that there is a oneness in there. But to unfold and manifest that in our life, of course, the journey has been on. Whether for
yeah.
you and us, it's been actually very beautifully manifesting and magically unfolding at so many different levels. And yes, it just takes you to that space of self-love, that takes you to the space of compassion, that takes you to the space of accepting. And I really picked up on that line from you, all is welcome. And then I couldn't comprehend, like at the beginning, how would you just dedicate hours on your yoga mat, and then came to realize the importance of this dedication. And yes, that's true. You are not only, your yoga is not only the asanas, it will shape you, it will take you into that journey, into all those feelings and emotion, and it will take you to places and people who are meant to walk this journey with you.
Yeah, what I see yoga is like a reflection. For example, if I don't love myself, I don't come to myself. I don't come to this body. So what yoga did to me was like it brought me to my body. Every time I step onto the mat, I feel my body, I feel my breath, and that makes me being comfortable with myself. And then in that space of comfort that this yoga, this rectangular shape mat create for me, I feel safe with myself. I start to be comfortable with myself. And when I'm comfortable, and then this inner dialogue, inner reflection start. Why do I hate these parts of myself? Why do I resist what I resist? Then like these little inquiries start coming up while I started practicing. And then one day it was like, like a aha moment when I felt like it's like a revelation happening. And just one day I felt all is welcome. And then every day I stepped on mat thinking all is welcome, feeling all is welcome, being in tune with this welcoming. If I am feeling sad, I'm feeling grief, I'm feeling sorrow, I welcome it. I don't push it. I need to feel it. This is demanding to be felt. And yoga practice really helped me to giving my whole self to this uncharming, unloving, uncomfortable emotions. Like I feel good, oh, I go out, I feel happy, I feel bubbly, I feel, I watch a movie, I eat a chocolate, I eat a cake, I play with Bella, feel good, all is good. But these moments I probably will cherish, but would not be a transforming moment. But for me, the moments that really made me uncomfortable, those uncharming emotions of feeling jealousy, of feeling uh, unworthiness, of feeling the grief, of feeling the need to be held, and feeling like just grief for no reason. And this is where I like yoga like helped me to stay with that, sit with those emotions. Whether I'm on the mat, there were times when I'm practicing, I'm in a pose, I'm in a asana, and tears start flowing because I feel the sadness moving in me. And it is like when other times I have just I know there is sadness, but I don't know how to tap into that sadness. I don't know how to feel that sadness. I don't know how to breathe into that sadness. So for me, yoga has been that tool of transformation that really helped me, taught me to really tap into those emotions that are really demanding to be felt, that are really demanding me to breathe into that. So like, okay, doing the pose, even I'm crying, doing the practice, and then sitting silently, sitting to really see and feel. And that was a little that's a masculine part, wherein I witness the emotions and I see. But eventually, like lately, what I've been also imbibing in my practice, this is feminine. So I'm on a mat, I practice what comes to me, comes to my body. So in a day I dedicate time for my inner masculine, where I just inquire and I witness and I see without labeling, without questioning. And I also bring in some time in my day for the inner feminine, where I just move, I just allow my body to do what it wants. There is no witnessing, there is no discipline. There is, it's basically being place, be space
Just
of
total
being.
flow.
Yeah, it's like total flow. And like with me, I had been in the total flow before, but
Total flow. Yes, that's wonderful, wonderful. You know what, like exactly the sentence that came to me, that exactly what you are conveying, to journey with yoga, to journey into those aspects of you the uncharted territories, and those emotions that are hidden, and those traumas that are in the back drawers, into that flow. And it's so empowering when you tap into that aspect of you that is in control. Not, I mean, like you're controlling, but you're conscious of in which direction to journey, whether you journey through your masculine energy or your feminine energy. This is so wonderful. This is so, and I'm really, really so looking forward, actually. I've witnessed that aspect of you being on the mat and doing your practices. I might have witnessed it from an outside point of view, someone who's doing asanas, but the way you are putting emotions to it, the way you are putting a deep healing to it, it is an eye opener, Sadhu.
Mhm. Thank you. Yeah, it is. It is. I mean, it is basically it is my sadhana. Like, you know, I can't put it any other way. It is my sadhana. It is something I really look forward to every day, like, you know, doing it every day, stepping onto the mat, because I feel this this is it brings to me, it is brings me to me, you know, through me. And like, you know, I'm
Mhm.
using my own body and my own breath. And it's also like, you know, I don't want to go into the philosophy, but just to say how yoga asanas are designed is also basically you're starting from your gross, the physical body, and you touch the subtle, the emotional and the mental body. So this is exactly what happens in the process of journeying with yoga, that, you know, you don't reach anywhere, but everything that is not yours, or you've just accumulated from outside, or you've just accumulated and, you know, you've been attached to it, because let's face it, we get attached to sadness, we get attached to anything that is sticking for long. Probably we don't know whether it's serving us or not serving us, because it's sticking for long, it just we feel so attached and comfortable to it. For example, if someone lives in a place where it's very chaotic, it's very dirty, and, you know, like, it's not at all neat and clean, but the person will eventually get habitual, and that would not even see this ugliness, this chaos around, because that's how you adapt to the system. It becomes you. Like, to be honest, this is what I'm talking from my personal experience. I'm not giving this example like a hypothetical. I grew up in a place where just behind my house there was a slum area, and it was a very small quarter built in, uh, like, it was like really Mughals era, like it was very old construction house that I lived in, because it was when my grandmother had escaped from Pakistan, because we were like from Pakistan during division. My grandfather was shot dead, and she ran with the four kids. So this is the place she found in Delhi. So it was all like a refugees area, and it was a very like old construction type Muslim kind of arched kind of house. And, you know, she barely, made ends meet, you know, for her kids. So it was tough life for her, for her kids. So when I grew up in that family, like, for me it was normal. Like, it only occurred to me when I went out of that environment, and I started living into different places, you know. Then I realized the really
There's
filthiness of
another
that
word out
place.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, I realized like how everything was, when my house was so dirty, you know, everything had like, it was so filthy, you know, like, really there was no organization, everything was everywhere. And, you know, it was like chaos. I lived in chaos, but when I went out of that chaos, I understood, wow, I was so comfortable in the chaos, you know. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it didn't feel to me that it's ugly, it's not right, it just was that, you know. Now now I live in a place where every, even one thing from here is here, I can see it. I
I
can see it
notice
so
it.
clear. You notice it, because when you're so
Yeah.
comfortable in the uh, any environment, you become comfortable and you stop noticing it. So this was my part, which I recognize, you know, like how every act can be meditative when you keep your surrounding very organized and clean. This is, I told you, I learned this lesson from you, like how to keep a kitchen, how to really make a kitchen your temple. And, you know, cleanliness is godliness. This all little things is not little, these have shaped my life to who I am now. So I have learned these lessons, which this probably would I would have expected from my mother. But anyway, you know, you learn lessons from different people, and just cosmic mother is sending people to give you what you want. And
You're right.
yeah,
Exactly. Exactly. But it's bringing to my attention that how we are, it's well orchestrated scenarios for our lives, that you had to live in that chaos and feel that, oh, this is the norm, until you step out of it, then you can understand its complementary half, and it's and then learn from this duality. And I love how you brought it into the aspect of within ourselves, how we recognize things and we think of them as the norm and as what defines us, but they become our limitation, and we grieve when we try to let go of them, even though they're chaotic, they're painful, they're traumas. And
we kind of pretend sometimes grief, because I feel like at times we are so attached to those beliefs, those habits, those patterns. It's difficult to let go, even though we want to. It's very difficult to let go. Yeah, unless you're really pushed into, like, to the edge. Now it's now
exactly.
or never.
Now or never. Now or never. And I love the story from Native Indian, how they always relate to the great spirit, or the mother, the cosmic mother, like the eagle that takes her chicks and build her nest the toppest, the highest tree on the mountain. And when the chicks are ready to fly, and if they don't, she just knocks them out. She knocks them off the nest. Either you fall down and you become a feast for insects, or you fly, you get your wings, you get the courage to fly. I always also remind myself of this little telltale, because I am myself that little chick, and at times I am this mother who kicks myself out, aspect of me out of the nest to fly, because there are so many layers and aspects to us, and it is so wonderful to discover them.
And this is what I was actually saying when I said, okay, I'll come back to this one point, because I remember this was almost my last days in Shantiniketan, and you told me this tale, like an eagle mother, she goes onto the highest of the tree or a mountain and drops the chick down. So it's time to fly, open the wings and fly or die. So that was my
yes.
that was my encouragement. That was my really my encouragement. Sorry.
That's what I'm saying, and you flew high, and this is very beautiful, and I'm very proud of you. As I said, I'm a proud mama watching from afar. I would love to know how the journey had taken you to Bali, and what value has added, the added value of Mama Bali to your growth, to your gifts to humanity. I know it's been an amazing year for you. Would love to hear more about that.
It's actually, I really believe in this quote by Rumi. What you seek is seeking you. I have always, from all my heart, I have believed in this quote. Like, whatever I seek is seeking me. So what I'm going to tell you, you may believe or you may not believe, but it is true, that has got me to Bali. So it was October 2019, and I was to go Thailand to teach this 1 month, to co-teach this 1 month long teacher training in Krabi, Thailand. And just 1.5 months before this trip, I heard of this from a friend or some source. I don't know how it happened. So I heard of this scripture, this book, which is called Vigyan Bhairav Tantra, which is actually a dialogue between Shiva and Parvati. It's not like a book, it's actually a dialogue between Shiva and Parvati, where Parvati is asking Shiva different questions about life, love, relationship, moksha, and he is giving answer. And each of his answer is a method of meditation, is in a sutra form, and it comes like a method of meditation, and it is 112 methods, 112 sutras. So I came across this book, and to mention, Vipassana is one of those methods, and there are like 112 total methods, out of which 6 are directly related to sexuality, and rest of them are, different aspects about breathing, about all range of rainbow, all colors of rainbow within these 112 methods of meditation. So I was really fascinated to my core, like, what is this? I want to really know more about it. Then I just randomly googled on internet Vigyan Bhairav Tantra, and then comes up a Vigyan Bhairav Tantra retreat in Dharamsala in Osho Nisarga Ashram, November 2019, November 2020, November 2021. So every year, November, there is 10 days retreat of this sutras. Then I looked into more into this information, and then I see a beautiful Western old woman's face come up on the screen, and it's like really pulling me. I didn't read anything, any of the description, but the face kept pulling me. It was like so much energy into that I didn't, for a moment I was struck, and I just kept looking at the picture. Then I read that this is a woman. She's been teaching Tantra for last 30 years or more. And she teaches this particular methods, 112 methods over the course of 3 years. So she teaches probably 30 sutras in one retreat, 10 days. Then next, and over the 3 years, she complete the entire 112 methods. So I was really fascinated. I wrote to the ashram, I want to do this retreat. And they said, it is an advanced program. You have to do the beginner programs, which happen so and dates. Okay, let's see what happens. Let it go. And then I went to Thailand. From Thailand, so I met this charming man and I missed my flight to stay with him. I actually went to Bangkok airport, but I couldn't board. I couldn't go in the check-in queue. I just couldn't. I was like, I'm not going. I flew back to that island that he was, and I spent some time with him. Then after a week, I came back to India. And then in March, it was my birthday, and I was like, come over to India. And he tried to book his ticket twice, but didn't go through. So he's like, why don't you come to Bali? And I was like, not a bad idea, actually. And I came to Bali, and my flight was, it's going to be 1 year now. I came to Bali, and on 29th of February, and it's interesting because my flight was 28th of February, and my mother was so anxious before I leave. She came to me literally almost panicking. Please don't go because I'm not feeling good. There's something bad's going to happen. We'll not see each other. She just said that plain. I'm like, Mom, don't make drama out of it. It's fine. It's all going to be fine. She just said this, we will not see each other. That's all, for a long time. And I just didn't believe her. I went to airport. Yeah. I couldn't take that flight because it was via Singapore and there was some visa problem. So I didn't go back home because I knew if I go back home, my mom would not let me go. So I booked another flight and then I went. But then long story short is that, can you hear me? Long story short is that relationship did not work out and I'm still here. And let me tell you that thing. On my second month in Bali, I meet this woman. I saw her face on the retreat page, ashram page. I meet this woman and I invited her for dinner because she was like client of my boyfriend, ex, whatever. And we became like family, like in few, because she's so Indian. She has spent a big stretch of her life in India. Her soul is Indian. So we had this ethnic connection. And now life is such that I'm part of her work, like I'm part of her Tantra Essence team. And I have several roles that I do for her. And I teach her yoga. And I do many things, but it's like in Bali, my main circle is basically her and her beloved. And that's how it is.
What so, you're seeking you. And this is exactly where you started. And this is how it is coming a full circle. And I know these universe stories and they are so fascinating. How our deepest desires are fastly manifesting, magically manifesting for us, because they are in our highest good. It's just to recognize that they are in our highest good and start wishing this highest good for all. It's bringing us a full circle. And I know this whole year has brought deep transformation in you.
And I did. So last year in 2020 November, I did not the full 10 days, but 3 days of Vigyan Bhairav Tantra. And not only I was part of the retreat, I was helping. I was a helper. So I was helping organize and, do many things and also be part of that beautiful practice in which we explored 7 sutras. So yeah, like you said, a full circle. In November 2019, I couldn't do for whatever reason. And then next year, I am with this woman. And, so what you, like I said, what I see, what you seek is seeking you. So this is the magical story. And it makes me believe in it even more. And I also came to realize, well, she introduced me to this, and I heard from another Buddhist teacher about this great law of magic. So basically, this great law of magic is like, it's like a full spectrum, and cause and effect are 2 polarities. So, you have a cause and then you have an effect. So it's like whatever you want in life, whether it's a big house or a big job or your dream career or your dream partner, whatever. So taking this moment and being gratitude and feeling in the body, feeling in the heart, how would it feel if you had this thing? So really experiencing yourself as though it has already happened. So this is how the great magic, the law of magic works. Experiencing, feeling
because
the emotions, feeling
exactly as you're feeling it in this now, you are projecting it to your future self, and this is when it manifests in the right proper time for you.
Yeah,
and this is the power of the alchemist within us, that magical being we are.
Yeah, so we are stepping away from this time and space, and because the very fact that we desire something is because this creator wants us to manifest. It's creator's dream that is coming through us, whatever we desire to manifest. So this is our life's journey. So whether you hold from the cause part or you effect part, they both are interlinked together. So if you see from here or here, so whatever is that you want to manifest, you want to have for yourself. So I do this practice. This is one of my main practice, to really sitting with myself and feeling how would it feel once I have it. So experiencing as though it has already happened, and giving gratitude, giving thanks for making as though it has already happened. So this is actually making things happen for me.
And this tapping into the gratitude and being in that space of a gratitude, it's opening the door of the infinite abundance. And infinite abundance is just another aspect of our manifestation as a collective. And I loved you shared a video a couple of days ago about that same thought about the abundance, and how you are living in this beautiful house overlooking the rice fields, and how things are just starting to manifesting and happening.
It is also like I am living in a complete paradox. Now things are going fine, but to be honest, when I moved into this house, I have a little bit problem with the bank account. My Indian card doesn't work here, and I lost my credit card in December. So I'm just getting money into my local friend's account, and somehow it's going on until I get my work permit and get things proper. But when I got into this house, I paid the rent. And I had a week ago, I had paid for my Kitas, my business visa. And then when I paid rent for this house, I had 300,000, which is like 1,500 Indian rupees, or you can say $50. less than $50 basically. So that's all I had. Next day I went to market, I got all the vegetables, grocery I had. But it's like when I sat in my house, I woke up next morning, I didn't have a fear of empty wallet, of having an empty wallet. I felt so fulfilled. I felt so rich. I felt, oh my God, this, money brings you, of course, a comfort, a lifestyle, everything. But the feeling of abundance is not dependent on the money in your wallet.
Exactly.
So this is what I experienced, and it was not something, okay, probably I have read it somewhere, or it's not knowledge, it's literally, I had zero money in my wallet. I literally deliberately spent the last penny of my wallet because I wanted to be without money, and to see where it takes me, how do I feel. And I thought I will feel panic, I will feel insecure, but to be honest, none of that happened. I felt
You've come a
so
long
abundant.
way, because you have come a long way within yourself by just acknowledging those feelings, acknowledging what the past had shown you, where the journey had taken you, where you are right now. And it is actually a collective realization what abundance is. And the more we tap into the collective, the more we start comprehending things also for ourselves, and start showing in the little things in our life. And yes, not money is a very powerful energy for us, for our users, but it's not what dictates how our life goes. At times we have that 20 rupees in my pocket that I keep it just to remind myself that, exactly what's needed for me is going to come for me at the right time, and it never failed me. It never ever failed me. And this is a frequency. It's a frequency, and it all starts from this very powerful sense of being grounded in the body, being grounded in the existence, being in this presence with full awareness of everything around us. And it opens up the door to gratitude, that opens up the bigger door to infinite abundance. I really hear you on this, and I truly believe that it's a matter of shifting perspective, shifting the
I
mind,
think
and
that
shifting
moment,
into the higher
that moment,
frequency.
that moment is the moment of shift. That's something I'm feeling
Yeah.
really into me, that I have shifted that energy, about energy in my money energy, because I have, in past this has happened, that I'm running out of money, and I know that my check is going to come like in a 10 days or something, so I would ask a friend of mine to just lend me some money for the stretch of 10 days or whatever. But this time I didn't do that, because I asked for help from a friend or something, because I know there is something, um a fear or something, some fear is that, like, I won't be able to make it or whatever. But this time I shifted the energy. I shifted the energy, and I felt like, no, it's everything is perfect as it is. Everything is there. I don't need to ask more. And in that moment I felt, some alchemical shift has happened, that I am really sensing the energy of money, and it's not bringing me fear anymore. And there's a bit, I know we are close to time, but I just wanted to say, while we're talking about abundance and money energy, I came across a beautiful meditation by Amelia. I don't remember the full name, but it's basically, you take a highest, like the biggest bill that you have, and you hold it in your hand, and then you sit in the eyes closed like a Buddha, or like in a meditation, and you just sense and just feel what energy, what emotions, what sensation this bill is bringing to you. I mean, you will come across a lot of uncomfort, insecurity, uh, all sorts of emotions, and it is actually to be done like 15 minutes at one stretch, and at least 6 to 10 sittings, until you arrive to a point where all you feel is warm energy, and no stagnation and no fear. And this is a meditation to change the relationship with the money. So you witness all the uncomfortable emotions, and all the judgments and beliefs and stagnation that you have created around money energy, and you transform it by just being in gratitude and holding it for a couple of sessions until it transforms into this warm and loving energy feeling. So this is what also I'm doing. So just wanted to touch on that. I think it might be helpful for the listeners to
Absolutely.
understand.
It would be wonderful if you also would like to share the link on my page and I can share it around. It is shifting for us on the individual, as individual, and on the collective level, as the whole paradigm, the old paradigm and the system is shifting, and how money was related to scarcity and lack and poverty and insecurity and fear. And we are healing our own wounding with money, but don't forget we're already also carrying that in our lineage from the scarcity that our parents and grandparents had experienced. So it is also encoded within our system somehow, because our parents, of our parents and grandparents, they have lived in lack, and the way our parents deal with us at times, it's just coming from that lacking, from that energy that they had perceived. So it is very important to realize what's mine and what's I have picked up from others in my lineage, and my subconsciously from the collective. And once I set foot into healing, it's gonna bring healing to that collective. It's gonna bring healing even to my family. They may not immediately, shift, but they will be off our back for some times, because we are creating a reality for ourselves that is different than theirs, and they only need to see us happy.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I think in this
that's so powerful. Actually, you tapped into that.
Yeah, so when you sit in the meditation with the money, this all things will come, and then this is how it will transform into the loving energy of love and gratitude towards the energy of money, rather than feeling lack and scarcity or fear. And from that space we can create abundance. When we have changed the relationship with money, whatever we tap into our creative energy, it brings in the abundance and flowering.
You're tapping into another aspect. I like you to elaborate more on. It's the creative energy. How, and I know you paint beautifully, you write beautifully, apart from the yoga and meditation, you dance beautifully. How did this activation of your creative energy through tantric practices had helped you to reach this comfort with yourself?
Yeah, so well, I've been doing things on my own, but when I'm stepping into this tantric world, it's also helping me to really step out of my comfort zone, because whatever I do is confined to my room, confined to my area, is basically I'm still in the comfortable zone. So when I step out, so recently, like on the just the day before Valentine's, I did a meditation which was called Back to Body, and basically it's a meditation for women. So we were like, it was not only women, but even males would do channeling their inner feminine. So I mean, not to freak people out, but everybody naked, but having a blindfold or eyes closed, and really tapping into the creative energy of Mother Earth by shaking out. So the meditation was done in 4 stages, which I feel has changed so much in me, because I do things in my own, but that's still I have judgments about my body, about my looks, about my size. Everybody has, because this is how the consumerism of the world have have fed the mind over the years, and also about, like, hundreds and thousands of years of suppression. So women are really, they don't love their round bellies, for example, which is actually the sign of the beauty. If you really see in past times, no women had the flat belly like athlete. Come on, it was not natural. Women always had this round belly, but because of this, all the markets and the marketing world has created shames about everything. The makeup industry, clothing industry has created so much shame and guilt, and uh, which we hold back to accept ourselves as we are. So this meditation really opened me in that space of really acceptance. So, imagine being naked and really doing the practice among all the people who are also naked. So there's no hiding. And so first stage is just basically crazily, like, shaking off everything for 20 minutes. Just shake off and tap onto the energy of Mother Earth. And then second phase, you dance however body wants to move, so just moving it however it wants to move. And the third phase was really going, feeling sensual, whether it's a man or a woman, doesn't matter. Touching yourself as though you're touching a lover, just being sensual with yourself, giving yourself what we seek from the other, so touching. And the fourth stage was like just sitting or lying down and witnessing everything. So that was really powerful meditation. And why I'm saying uh, it was really transformative, because it is a tantric practice in a way that it is anything that is going beyond the taboos of society is actually tantric practice, where people say, oh, this is wrong, you should not do this. And tantra says, fuck everything, nothing is wrong, no rules, we'll do what you say is wrong, and we'll find sacredness in that wrong. So this is the part of tantra which I'm also exploring at the moment, experiencing life and reality and sacredness onto the from the other polarity. Because also I felt, to be honest, I would say here, yoga has really helped me to bring myself to myself, although it also created a little bit rigidity in me in terms of what is spiritual, what is not spiritual. So I started uh, putting everything in box, and that's when tantra came to rescue me, to really question all those rigid beliefs, like, following discipline, from following um, particular lifestyle. And with tantra I started questioning all of that, and I'm like, I'm going to find sacredness in all the opposites now. So this is kind of my journey at the moment. So I haven't reached far away from in it, but this is what I'm exploring, all the opposites at the moment.
This is what life is, to allow ourselves to explore, and without a judgment,
Yeah.
because we are in a body and we are here to explore. We are in a
Yes.
mind, explore through the mind. We are in an emotional body, we explore through the emotion. And labeling right and wrong, it's no more the trend. It's
Yeah.
just being in a state of allowance, and being in a state of receiving and giving, and allowing this whole experience to move you through. And always be with the intention, may it be in the highest good, may it take me to those heights of exploring myself and connecting and coming back to that state of oneness. And what I love about the diversity of life, sometimes I kind of look around and see all gazillions of people roaming the earth, and each of every single one of us has his or her own experiences here, and we are here only to experience. And we've forgotten, by putting all these limitations and rules and regulations on life, on emotions, on the mind, on the body, on our sexuality, everything has been labeled. The time has come to just open up Pandora box.
Absolutely.
Yeah. A great time spent with you, Sadhana. And know we're coming to the end of our own podcast today. It was so lovely to tap into the journey with yoga, the journey inside, the journey within, the journey into different places, the journey of discoveries and unraveling, the journey of experiencing, and such a blessing to see you really flying high, beautiful goddess. And
it has been truly my pleasure and my joy to be part of the podcast, part of Nerika live streaming. And yeah, really appreciate your welcome, your invitation, and hope to create something magical soon in the future to share with the world.
I am ready. I wake up with this big affirmation to the universe and I sleep with it. And life has been unfolding beautifully. With Nerika, more of, I can't say motion, but slow motion, but it's such a beautiful gliding and riding through the energies, as if I'm not producing content except for the podcast. And I know the time will come when the collaboration and the time we are guided to create something beautiful for the 2021. I love how 2020 was intense channeling into Nerika, intense healing and meditations, intense activations. And we come into a phase now, we're in this reset mode for taking off. And I'm so looking forward to get back with all the facilitator and start on something big, beautiful for the collective, for ourselves. And such a blessing to be here. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And so much love to you and the beautiful family that's has held space with you and for you. And thank you. We love you.
Loving us.
And Nerika family, we'll see you next week with a new episode with another beautiful guest. Bye-bye.